for the wife, for the kids, for the company, for this, for the that. You're like, what are you doing for yourself? Hey, bro, I got a Corvette. You want to drive it? And I'm like, it's just me. I'm on business. I'm not driving. That took years off your life. You don't even know. Just talking trash. You know what I'm saying? Smoking a cigar, watching the game. I mean, you got to plan. You got to have accountability. And last but not least, plan to celebrate yourself, bro. What's up, family? It's your main man, Coach Crump, with another great episode of the Boy Man King podcast. And I'm with my main man, Chizzy. Say what's up to the people, Chizzy.
Man, what's going on? What's going on? What's going
Hey,
on? What's
listen,
going
man, listen.
on?
When I saw your colorful shirt, I said,
Yeah,
man, you in the spirit, bro, because we're
yeah.
about to talk about a very important topic that men need to be talked about more,
Mm-hmm.
and men do more.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrate, bro.
Yeah.
Celebrate. Guess what? Yourself, bruh.
Yeah.
Every and I'm doubling down on every man over 40, bruh. Like every
Yeah.
man over 40, bruh, you made it over 40. Listen, I need you to double down. I had a coach,
Yeah.
and I was telling him about what I was doing. This was around summertime, and I was like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. He was like, okay, I'm traveling this, I'm traveling there, I'm going back and forth, I'm doing this, I'm doing that for this client, for that client, for the wife, for the kids, for the company, for this, for the that. You're like, what are you doing for yourself? I was like, huh? Chizzy, my first response was, huh? That's not on the
Mhm.
calendar. He was like, celebrate yourself. And it started, bro, Labor Day. I had to go to a client from Miami. I was like, man, I'm gonna spend an extra day in Miami. And
Yeah.
it's so happy. I get in the spirit. One of my friends like, hey, bro, I got a Corvette. You want to drive it? And I'm like, it's just me. I'm on business. I'm not driving a Corvette. I'm at the bar. And they were like, you
Yeah.
better drive that Corvette. And bro, drove the Corvette all weekend, bro. And then Chizzy, I got two more things I got into. I got into cigars, bro. Oh
Okay.
man, you get me a mild chocolate cigar, bro. The zen I feel nostalgia. I started talking to my dad, like it
Mm.
is something that's like. And so then we found a dope cigar lounge out here in the A that I go to. Man,
Yeah.
the vibes they had. I had a corner to myself. Server checking on me. She had a great spirit. Five TVs with all the games, 10 minutes from my crib. Bro, I came home to my wife. I said, babe, I had fun. I said, I can't tell you the last time that I genuinely, as a grown man, had fun as a mom. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, this is so different. I don't even know what to call this, but bro, yeah, and I'm kind of like doubling down in this season of my life, bro. Like, I'm enjoying this part of the journey. What I told everybody, once I broke 40, my daughter
Yeah.
graduate, marriage made it through the trenches, my son about to graduate. I'm like, bro, I got nothing else to impress anybody. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
and I'm old enough to know nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah.
I'm old enough to understand that God doesn't owe me nothing. Like time is my most precious commodity. And I'm gonna do what I still do, support the wife, take care of the kids, take care of my clients, the company, the organizations that I work for, work with.
Mhm.
But also what I'm going to do is
Take care
enjoy
of yourself.
myself, bro. No, no,
Well,
no, no,
you
no, 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 no. I want to make a distinction because I know you play big on taking care of yourself. You know
yeah.
what I mean? And I
Yeah.
know you've been working hard to kind of get yourself back on your feet and what you
Yeah.
seem your own standards. But I
Yeah.
want to make a clear distinction on what we're talking about.
Right.
Enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
as a man who put in his work and made these sacrifices, you know what I mean? Like, bro, when is the time? When is
Uh,
the time, man? Like, yeah, bro.
it's I think it's a level of recognizing that there's no fixed time to it, though. There's no fixed time to it. I think all of this can be achieved at different phases of your life, too. It doesn't have to be, okay, when I'm 40, I'm now going to do things that I haven't done before. I'm going to enjoy myself. I think a large part of the narrative for men in particular is that our focus solely is on taking care of everybody else. And part of what we do is to say, nah, that's okay. You can do that, but you can also take care of yourself. You can also love on yourself. You can also be selfish with yourself. You can also say no and prioritize also what your needs are, as well as what your family's needs are, and openly communicate that to your loved ones so that they understand that dad is not going through a midlife crisis if he wants to go buy a Corvette or if he wants to, upsell, if he wants to do something that he hasn't done in his younger years. It's okay to prioritize yourself and take up cigars and to do things that you wouldn't necessarily have done in your younger years. I'm started a whiskey collection, and I don't even drink like that, but I feel like it's
Yeah.
cool to and in Scotland was known for making different types of whiskeys. I've started a whiskey collection. So I'm got a few different types of whiskeys, whether the high end ones to the middle end ones. I'm looking to get a nice whiskey decanter. I'm probably just gonna sit in the corner, and if my brethren come over, we could kind of have a little sippy sip. You know what I'm saying? Just
Come
little
on.
things
Come on,
like that.
sippy sip. I just gotta have mine on the rocks. Gotta have mine on the rocks, bro, and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta
Yeah,
have mine on the rocks.
so all of these things demonstrate that you care about you because we spend a lot of time, you and I obviously we've done so much work in the community taking care of other people. Part of the reasons why we left Bermuda is because we needed to kind of reshape our own identity and how we're really trying to just figure out the next phases of our lives. So you know I'm at a space now where I'm just trying to do me. Like my kids are older. There are always going to be stuff that comes up with the children, with navigating, helping them navigate their lives. But there's a necessary component that says that, look, man, I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to enjoy my time on this earth. I went to Santorini by myself for my birthday. And I celebrated that my birthday by myself in Santorini for a week, just playing tourist. I was on a quad bike. I was running around. I went for a jog in some random place, just having a good time by myself. You know what I'm saying? Just doing things that
Okay.
I love to do because that's just the space that I'm in now. And for other men who are watching this who feel like, man, I ain't got to take her. Bro, take care of yourself, love on yourself, because you owe it to yourself to invest in you in different ways. You know what I mean? So I like to hear
Yeah.
that you was driving a Corvette. I like to hear that you're getting back into cigar. You find your niche in cigars in Atlanta. That's dope, bro.
Right.
That's really
Yeah,
really
man. And
amazing.
yeah, man. And the other thing too, is I got two more things to hit. And here's the thing, right? I wanna kill the midlife crisis thing.
Yeah,
Because it's not a midlife crisis for you to start celebrating yourself. Like I really want to
mhm,
focus on celebrating yourself. Is that you
yeah,
put it on hold for so long,
hmm,
everybody else is viewing you celebrating yourself as what you going through. A
negative.
midlife crisis? No. I've neglected my own well-being, in some cases humanity, to make sure everything else was straight and put out whatever I could to make sure every fire was put out, that I've exhausted myself to the point where I've kind of lost myself for a minute.
Yeah,
But now I'm at
yeah,
an age and stage where I'm like, bruh, I have grown man skis about me that I have interests and likes and things, and I'm taking the time to explore those. So I got a guitar. You know what I'm saying? I got my guitar. I got to get it tuned properly. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna get my guitar game up. I love music, man. Love music. Love making music. Sounding. I used to work in a studio when I was in
okay,
college as an intern, bro, making beats. I made 5 songs for my wife. She was a singer, so I made the whole track. I made the lyrics.
yeah,
I made the beats. I made everything. But it's like that was 20 plus years ago. Life starts lifing, kids,
yeah,
word, blah,
yeah.
blah, blah. I'm like, bro, I'm getting back to music. And here's the other thing, bro. I play hoops, Chizzy. I played hoops Monday, bro. It's been a week. My
Yeah.
whole left side still hurts. I say, bro, I I gotta transition to golf, bro. I
I was
gotta
gonna say that
transition to
too.
golf, bro.
I'm like, God be
I
hooping a
play
lot.
I play Bro, the hooping game is too much violence, it's too much
Yeah,
aggression, and it's too much pounding, bro. My
the
knees
coverage is
pause.
too
But it's like
low.
I gotta get on golf courses, bro. I took my team out. We played in the golf course at
Uh-huh.
St. Regis, bro. We had when I say I had a blast, bro. Didn't know what I was doing, but I had a blast, and I caught a little bit of the bug. But I was like, yo, because I got my own standard, I'm gonna go
That
to the
was me.
driving range. I gotta make sure I get right so that I can really be out here on some the wedge,
Yeah,
the hand, you know what I mean, the putter. I want to make sure I'm really nice with it, but I definitely got a little bit of the golf bug too, bro. Like, so 2026, y'all gonna
yeah.
see me with the guitar, and y'all gonna see me with the golf clubs with a cigar. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Okay.
what we
I
doing,
love
bro.
that, man. I love that for you, man. That's wicked. That's wicked, man.
Yeah.
I stay I stay in that space, bro. I'm head to golf clubs. Right before I came here, I saw the first golf clubs in Canada. I probably played once or twice in Canada. The Bradgers years ago for Father's Day, before you move back home, the Bradgers will go every Father's Day and we'll go play golf. And some of us know how to play,
Okay.
some of us are trash. But the point of the camaraderie is the important part.
Yeah,
And like
bro.
you catch the bug and you're like, yes, you could. Because, as an athlete, you need that competitive nature. You need that competitive spirit. And one thing about
Back,
golf
bro.
is kind of you versus you. So psychologically, you gotta be in tune with yourself psychologically because it's a mental game. You know what I mean? So golf is a really,
Yeah.
really good sport. We could play that up until 80, 90 years old. You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
So
That's the other part because the one thing I was here's why it's so important to celebrate, right? Because we've been taught a lot of things that's not true. You
right.
know, bro, that the body doesn't like significantly slow down, like physically slow down until you're like 70. You know, the only reason why your body has slowed down, when people say in their 40s and they, because psychologically you slow down. So
Yeah.
psychologically you slow down, so your body slowed down. So it's like so many people tell you like you got to be here by the time you're 40, not realizing, bro, you got another 30 years to live,
30
like in
plus
your
years.
full in your full health to do whatever, blah blah. Like I'm talking about not just like live, but like live. Like you wanna go jet skiing, you wanna
Yeah.
go hiking, you wanna
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
canoeing, you wanna play golf, you wanna play pickleball, you wanna travel, you wanna dance, you wanna sing, you wanna act. Like we acting like, oh, you 40 is over. Like, nah, bro, it's just getting started for real, for real. And it's like that's why you want to celebrate because you went through all that hell that you went through
Yeah.
in your 20s, 30s, and your 40s, and you still here and you still got life in your body, bro. There's nothing promised after this point, nothing promised next year. Enjoy the ride, man, and enjoy those who want to enjoy it with you and keep it moving, bro. Like that's the message of today. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about today. Like, it is time to celebrate. We done been through pandemics. We done been through depressions. We done been through
Yeah. Yeah.
recessions. We done been through we done been through so much that took years off your life you don't even know and made you believe this thing about yourself and about the world. And the truth is, you have life, and God wants you to have it more abundantly. And man, He is in complete control, and He has given you this opportunity to celebrate the day in your own way and live it, King. That's what we want you to do.
Yeah, I like this energy too because, like you said, the narratives that we perpetuate in society is that,
Mhm.
at a particular age, you should kind of just slow down. But I feel like the more you build up yourself in your younger years, it would allow you to kind of stay on that pace when you get into your 40s and 50s. I work out more now than I ever worked out when I was younger. Regrettably, not regrettably, but had I obviously what you knew, if I knew then what I knew now, I definitely would have done more physical activity in by way of training and strengthening and all that back then. But now, even still, it enables me to still continue. I be getting on the basketball court and I'll be playing against these 20 and 30-year-olds. I'm like, yo, how old are you, bro? I don't even want to tell them my age. I'm like, just hopefully you're still as good as me when you get to that level.
Come
Now I
on,
can't
come on,
I
come
can't
on. Talk
you know
spicy, Chizzy. You
and then when I go
know what I'm
home, I'm
saying?
still in pain for a week, and 2 weeks later, I don't show back in the gym 2 weeks after that. But at the same time, I'm still up there hooping, and I'm still
Oh
getting
man,
in there's reps. So yeah, man, it's important to just keep it good, man. Keep it spicy because at the end of the day, like you said, we got another 40, 30 to 40 plus years left.
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
exploring education, so I'm going back to do my master's. All of these things are still possible. I have friends be like, man, I'm not trying to go back to school. It's just too much. No, man. If you're consistently in a learning space, if you're consistently in a space where you're reinventing yourself, life could be a lot greater, a lot better for you later on in life than it will be when you're 20 or 30. You're wiser, you're smarter, your money game's up, you got more time,
Come on,
you
money
see your
games up.
children grow. You know what I mean? All of these things are afforded to you, and yes, in your later years, man. And so it's an important part of the advocacy that we do in this particular space to say, guys, now don't when I say shirk your responsibilities, I say, yeah, forget
Oh,
everything, throw your hands up. I'm just gonna do me. Nah, that's not what we're saying.
yeah.
No, we're saying,
Nah,
you have
bro.
to find a balance between life, the rigor of life's expectations on you as a man, and find some necessary selfishness to be for yourself and show up for yourself and explore those things that you still have the capacity to explore. There's nothing wrong with it.
Bro,
There's no
hey, Chizzy, for the first time, bro, I actually look forward to the weekend. I haven't
say,
looked forward to the weekend, bro. I haven't looked. People are like, oh, it's Friday night. I'm like, that don't mean nothing to me, bro. Like my schedule, my kids, my boy. I'm like, I never looked like maybe college and high school, but
yeah,
since then, 20 plus years, bro. I'm like, but first, I'm like, bro. I was like, yo, I got things that I can do to enjoy myself and my time, like that I'm looking forward to because I kind of like, just to kind of like to your point, make it balance. I do my cigar thing on the weekend. Like it's like
yeah,
something like it's a weekend treat for me. I gotta be locked in day to day, week to week, morning to like to take care of all my other responsibilities. But like I'm looking forward to treating myself with a game and a glass and a gar, just chilling with my Stokey. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that to me, like, bro, is like I'm into my little bliss. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
man, and I never really had it. Like I'm gonna be honest, like what blew me away was I had genuine fun that
Mm,
was fun for me. Because some people will invite me stuff out, and it's like I'm here to support somebody. I'm here to make sure things don't. I'm here to connect dots, or I'm here. But it's like I'm not genuinely having fun because this ain't fun for me. Like you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
like golfing with my boy, just talking trash. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Smoking a cigar, watching the game. Like
Right.
I'm genuinely having fun right now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like this ain't. You know what I mean? Like this is a vibe. And so I say because man, like I look at it was so fun. I'm doing my calendar for 2026, bro. And my calendar is laid out for the year. Like I gotta try to find weekends where I'm like, well, I'm not like, oh, okay, I gotta get to this. Okay, well, now I had told my wife, I said, babe, we're gonna do this in 27 because I don't really have room to do something like that in 26. Like that's how 26 is already looking. Right. So I was just like, I'm not even gonna put that stress on myself. I want to pace myself. I'm at a different age and stage in my life. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna push that off to 27. But I'm like, now I've learned to just enjoy the journey a bit more. I'm not saying I'm a pro at it, I'm a
Yeah.
master at it, but I
No.
do take the time to carve that out now for sure.
It's funny you say that because before we started this conversation, in my mind, I was saying, I want to have a conversation about planning. And I think for the first time in my life, last year, my sister and I, we did a vision board. And in the different
Mm.
areas of my vision board, family, business, relationships, spirituality, kids, you know, I went back and looked at it the other day, and there are a lot of parts of that vision board that I actually satisfied in this past
Mm.
2025 year. And truth be told, this is the first time in my life I've ever done a vision board. Regrettably, I say that, but for this particular year coming up, next month, I'm gonna do the exact same thing, and I'm gonna include these self-love things. I'm gonna include, you know, I want to invest in barrels of whiskey. So for the financial component, you could now turn the things that you love to do into something that's also financially beneficial for you as well. So planning is critical. And I know for some, this is like, what do you mean? Like, everybody plans, but no, everybody does not plan. You know what I mean? But there's a saying: if you
No,
fail to plan, you plan to fail. So part of
that's
me
real.
reshaping myself is now saying, oh no, I want to articulate and verbalize and visually represent Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 for 2026, so that I know that over the next year I have benchmarks that I have to achieve. I have things I want to achieve. Um, because these are the things we just take for granted. Because if you don't plan, life just sometimes just gets a hold of you, and you just end up just functioning. So to hear you say, "Yeah, my whole year is planned out," that was me last year. You know what I mean? And I saw
Mm,
it, and you can actually track and see how these things play out day in and day out. You know what I mean? So that's my takeaway for 2026. It's gonna be like, look, whatever I want to achieve, I'm gonna put in plain English, and I'm gonna actualize it. What do you say to the guy that's like, man, I ain't got time for none of that. I don't want to plan anything. I'm here just trying to survive, and I'm just trying to wake up day to day, because there are a lot of people
yeah.
out there like, how do you encourage them to be like, all right, the importance of planning, not just for your family, but for yourself and for your future.
Yeah, that part. I mean, I think you just kind of said it at the end. Like the reason why you plan is not only for putting yourself in position to bless other people, right? It's also putting yourself in a position to bless yourself. For example, I had to plan, paying my daughter tuition, getting a new car, and putting on a new debt. But I had to do it in a way where financially, like as I take care of these things and take care of my mom and all this other stuff, like I can still do those things because having a dope deck in my backyard is something I want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like yeah, it raised the value property and all of that. We could get into the real estate lingo, but at the end of the day,
right.
like, bro, I want to have a fire pit, hot
Fact.
tub, a bar, a
Yeah,
TV, privacy, chilling. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Something for the stogie. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, I want that all set up before the summer comes because when I come home, I ain't leaving the crib. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like everybody know I'm at. He's downstairs outside by the patio somewhere, you know what I mean? Grilling up something, watching the game. Like, come, you
Yeah,
want to come find me? Come outside, come find me. Like, I'm out here
yeah,
chilling. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's like you can't do stuff like that if you don't plan, right? You
Fact.
you can't manifest. Like you can say, oh, I got this vision board. I got okay, but it costs dollars for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that costs
Mm-hmm.
real
Mm-hmm.
money.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other responsibilities you have. You do have children, so it's like you got to get yourself in order to get out of survival mode. You
Yeah.
have to get into planning mode, right? And
Right.
planning mode ain't just about yourself. It's other people you're going to eventually want to bless. Like I really want to bless my daughter. I really want to put my family in a position. I really want to help my wife. I really want to do some things in business. I cannot achieve those things. I just can't if I don't plan. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so it's something you want to achieve for yourself and or for others. And you can't just randomly get there. Like what you know, you are caught in a season, but if you don't
Mm-hmm.
have a plan, you're going to be caught in a cycle. It's just going to be wash and repeat, and
I
you're
like
going to
that.
look up and you're going to be years like, what happened? You ain't have a
Yeah.
plan, bro. That's what happened. Something that was only meant to be a season end up being a cycle because you never had a plan to get out of it.
Yeah. It's the difference between living and existing. And, the reality is, it doesn't really have to be anything grandiose, but planning could be as small as you want to lose 5 pounds by February, to as great
Mm,
as in the third quarter you want to start the business that you've always been passionate about. You know what I mean? But it does
yeah.
require a level of discipline to planning it. So we don't want to give the impression that, if you're planning something, it's got to be something huge, something that's life changing. It can be if you're able to
Mm,
actualize it and put, strict things in place to get to that end. But it could be something simple as well. I think if you start small, then it could lend to the bigger things and the bigger projects and the bigger explorations that you want to have for your life. But if you don't do it at all, that's where it's detrimental. That's where you get into just living and getting into a survival mode. So if you want to get out of survival and you want to get into being proactive about your future, planning is a critical component to that. It's vital. Otherwise, you'll just be spiraling in survival mode, and not just physically, not just financially, but emotionally. It also spirals into those spaces as well. So that's
Yeah.
kind of my pivot for 2026 is be more proactive about planning, be more intentional about planning months and months in advance, and of course, once you write it, make it plain, and you pray about it, you put it in God's hands, be our man of faith. At the end of the day, that it's not just you that's set forth to actualize these plans, but now you got your creative and God, and then you have a support system that could keep you accountable. Because I think that's the other component. I remember when one of our guests was talking, and I remember listening to E one time, and he was saying, the accountability piece is huge, and having your family
Mhm.
members and people around you just to help you to actualize those goals, because it can't just be in your head. It can't just be you. That accountability piece and that mentorship and that coaching is critical to actualizing a lot of these plans that we have. So that's also something for myself that I'm looking to, introduce into my space. How can my family members, how can my surroundings keep me accountable for the plans that I'm trying to actualize, man, and still have
Man,
fun
you heard
doing
it. Yeah, I'm about to say you heard it. You heard it here first from your boy Chizzy, man. You know what I mean? You got to plan. You got to have accountability. And last but not least, plan to celebrate yourself, bro, and
it.
hold yourself accountable to that as well, man. We want to thank you guys, man. We couldn't say enough, man. The impact that the platform has been able to have. Me and Chizzy was fully committed when that long car conversation from Tennessee in those
Mm,
mountains left that
yeah,
men's retreat to be like, man, we really want to kind of keep this energy up. He didn't know that I was already, planning something.
sure.
Um, I actually recorded the first episode in the mountains, but I knew I couldn't do this by myself. I knew I needed a
Yeah,
co-host. And
appreciate that.
Chizzy, man,
Yeah,
thank you for just graciously
thank you,
accepting
man.
it, man. It's been a dope journey. We've
Fact.
impacted thousands all over the world with this content. Man, thank you to everybody who's listened, who's shared, who's followed, who's liked, who's subscribed. Man, we
Hmm.
appreciate y'all. And as we celebrate, we want you to celebrate yourself, your life, your journey. And as we say on the Boy Man King podcast, the journey continues,
Journey
man.
continues.
Like, share, subscribe. Peace. We out.
Peace.
Y'all be
Bye.
blessed.